Next question, somebody asked. You? Yeah, what's up?
So, in your guys' opinions, you guys have been podcasting and doing this for quite some time. Which do you think is the much more intimidating challenge to overcome? Is it, putting something out that's going to be received well by fans that, your fan base like that? Or is it trying to make something that's going to be up with the par with stuff that's already out there?
I think the biggest challenge, number one, is realizing the commitment it takes to be consistent. I also think that it's a huge commitment. I don't podcast anymore. We put out over 100 shows, and for a female podcast, that was a really big deal. But then things happen, and life happens, and you kind of want to move on and do other things. These guys, how many shows do you have now?
333.
Not a lot of websites have that many shows in the can because they wait 3 months, or they wait a month. So that's number one, is being consistent is a big challenge.
But you didn't start on episode 1.
Number two is really speaking to what you know and know it well. You can have an opinion and all, but make sure you know what you're talking about. Because some people get on there and don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, and make it entertaining too. Like, sometimes I listen to other podcasts and it's boring, so.
And listen to the shows, listen to some crappy shows, and listen to Gamertag Radio, because then you'll see the difference of, wow, the quality is good, the topics are consistently good. You don't want to have too many people on your show either at the same time, because then you get lost.
And have people that have a different opinion about stuff. Because if everybody had the same opinion, it
sounds biased.
Yeah.
And if you have something in your head like, I wonder about this, or I'd like to talk about this, don't be afraid to put it out there, because it's very hard to be original, because everybody's talking about the games that are this week coming out, this week coming out, this week coming out. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. You don't have to keep up with Destructoid. You don't have to keep up with Gamertag Radio. Do what you feel this is the way you want to go and do it.
The funny thing about that too is sometimes I release shows that are like, this good, but sometimes other blogs will pick it up. And then it ends up in major sites, Time Magazine or CNN. You don't know. Just release it, and eventually somebody is going to pick it up and spread the word about it. You know what I'm saying? So it happened to us a couple of times. So.
And it's very surprising to find who listens to your show. We have people listening to us in Egypt, in Israel. We have people listening to us in Israel. Wow, that's pretty cool. In Australia,
Cuba,
and we would have people emailing us.
In Cuba too.
And it blew my mind, because when you record something, okay, 2 people are going to hear this. Me and my husband will listen to my show. But you get, little by little, a lot of people start coming to your show.
And don't be afraid.
And don't worry about that initially.
Yeah.
Just do it little by little, and then all of a sudden, it starts growing and growing and growing. But consistency is the key.
And accept criticism, don't take it personally. There are millions of podcasts out there, especially in the gaming industry. Everybody has a voice and an opinion. So make sure, you have something unique to bring to the table. Don't be just like he said. You don't want 4 people talking about the same thing for an hour or an hour and a half. Variety. Bring a variety of topics to your show. Don't just. Although I'd love it, I'd love to have a video game podcast of just shooters. But you can't have that.
No, that's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. It happened once.
If you do have a co-host, make sure that your co-host isn't a yes person.
And reliable.
You want to make sure the person's reliable, and you want to make sure that the person has an opinion too. Yeah, you're going to agree sometimes on a lot of things, but to add a dynamic and entertainment, because ultimately you want to entertain people, you want to have that person that you can dig on without it becoming personal. You want to have that person that has their own opinion, and it's not all, oh yeah, I agree with everything you say.
Now they
That's really boring.